Welcome everybody, the World Triathlon Multisport World Championships Townsviille 2024. It has been a 12-day event. 19 World Championships wraps up today with the elite male and female 2024 World Triathlon Long Distance Championship here in Townsviille. The sun is rising and we are ready for an incredible day of competition. It is a fantastic course, and we start off with a 3K swim. Not technical, but it's going to be interesting to see how we go. And it is a deep ocean start.
Yeah, deep ocean start. Also 2 laps with that Aussie exit, the famous Aussie exit, where they have to exit the water, run over that timing mat, and then re-enter the water for lap 2.
All right, so that's your swim course, 3Ks in total. We then hit the bike course. We're showing it on the map there. It's going to take in a lot of great features of our city. We're into 114 kilometres today. Yeah,
slightly shorter than we're used to seeing at a long distance champ. Normally it's around that 120 mark. So 114 kilometres, 3 laps. A lot of technical sections, not a lot of elevation, but I think just enough to make it interesting.
We're going to see some really fast times, particularly out to Cape Paloranda, which is the long run along the coastal area. And there's a strip of Walcott Street in the back part of the city, just in behind Castle Hill. Also some great features of our city. We'll talk more about that as we get through it. They then come off the bike course, 3 laps of that, the run course, 30 kilometres.
30 kilometres, and obviously this is where we're going to see the action taking place. 2 lots of 12-kilometre loops and then a shorter third loop of only 6 kilometres. Pretty much pancake flat. I think there is one tiny little elevation that they will need to do on each lap, but 30 kilometres, it is a long run, and for a lot of our athletes, they are doing this distance for the very first time, so it's going to be interesting at the latter stages to see what happens.
Let's go over and take a look at our female list in the elites. One of the athletes we want to talk about straight up is Marta Legownik. She is one that really does stand out in this field, Belinda.
She does. She's a favourite on paper, strongest over all 3 disciplines, and has had a solid season so far with 2 middle distance wins, including the European middle distance champs in Portugal. This, however, would be her first time over this distance, this longer distance, and I expect her to get some stiff competition from both French athletes Charlene Clavel and Marianne Legrand.
And one other name that does stand out, and we love her, Ayu Ida. She's a 3-time Olympian and certainly could be in the mix today.
And now, honestly, this woman has some resume to her name. Absolutely incredible. 41 years of age, 3-time Olympian. Switched to long course racing in 2022, and she is just such a fabulous ambassador for our sport.
On your mark.
That is Julie Iamolo with a humongous lead, only 6 minutes, 11 seconds into this race, and she is already establishing herself. Unbelievable. Look at that pan back. So really, she is such a class swimmer. We expected her to get out on her own. We're expecting her to have a lead of around 2 to 3 minutes, actually, at the end of this 3 kilometres.
And out of the water comes Julie Iamolo from France, born in 1999 in Australia. And a quick little tap of the watch around the boys and back into the water. She'll be able to have a quick look over and see where everyone else is and know she has a very strong lead.
Really tough feeling right now because all of your blood is in your upper body. It's all in your shoulders and your arms, and all of a sudden you're asking your body to run up onto sand and around back into the water. So it's not a pleasant feeling, let me tell you that. And then, of course, you don't want that blood to go down to the legs because you need it back up in the arms again for once you dive in for that second lap. So I always love the Aussie exit because it really does. It mixes things up and makes it a little bit more difficult for the athletes, which is always great.
We love that, and there's a fair bit of difficulty to come across the rest of the day. Another big group of our elite females coming out of the water. Look at that, 1 minute 49 between Amola, Tanaka, and back to Clavel.
So that's even more than we anticipated because we thought it would be 3 minutes by the end of the swim, but she's almost got 2 minutes after 1,500 metres. That's incredible. Absolutely. Look how far back that is. That's amazing. Great aerial view, though. Great shot of Julie right now, making her way towards the bike. As I said, she doesn't need to do anything silly. She can take her time. So speed suit comes off. That'll go safely in the box. She needs to make sure that that helmet is on and strapped before she touches her bike. There you go. See, making sure everything's in. Socks are going on. Now, this is quite interesting. So obviously putting socks on now, this will save her time in T2.
Yes.
Now, great choice by Julie. She has the time to put socks on now.
Yeah.
You don't normally put socks on
to
ride. No, you don't. You don't need to. But she knows this is where she has time to do it.
Yeah.
So socks go on now. Helmet goes on. when she gets into T2, she won't need to waste time in T2
Very
putting socks
smart,
on.
hey?
She's already got them on. So really smart move by Julie. So now we have our second female making her way up the sand and into transition.
We'll get a bit of a time split on that very, very soon.
That is indeed, that is Marta Legownik. So great swim from Marta. Wow.
She must have made up a little bit of ground there.
Definitely has. Our first part of the course won't be an issue, but for our longer distance athletes who are traditionally, they're used to just getting down on those error bars and staying down in them,
Yep.
that pure time trialing position. So a little bit of tricky, and these athletes are just going to have to keep their wits about them till they get onto the course proper.
Here's our lead female athlete. This is Julia Molo from France, who now has a 3-minute lead.
We were pretty spot on then.
Pretty much absolutely what you would expect.
Well, I'll have to give a shout out to Torsten Rader. He helps me with my statistics, so my on-paper stats. And I always love to see if things pan out or if they don't. You know, obviously conditions play a huge part, but he did predict that she would have around 3 minutes, so just over that 3-minute mark for Julie Iamolo. And you can see on course just there, so you're probably wondering, someone like Julia Iamolo, who's got such a big lead, how will she know where she is on course? We know that there's several sections on the course where they do 180-degree turns, so she'll get to see her competition, but she's got such a lead right now that she might miss that. But they do have their coaches out on course, so the French have come over here with a fabulous team. You can see our elite females, Julie Iamolo leading the way, Charlene Clavel back in second, just over that 4-minute mark back, Marta Legownik from Poland, 5:32 back. Ayueda having a great race. I know she'd love nothing more than to make the podium here today at 6:43 back. And then our two Aussies, Emily Donker, 7:23 back, and Kate Gillespie-Jones at 8:42 back. And there you go, the two women. That's first place on the right-hand side of screen, and Charlene Clavel on the left here.
I think that's Ayueda.
It is
in
indeed.
front of us from Japan, the 3-time Olympian, coming over Louts Bridge. This will be the turnaround with the stadium on the right-hand side, and sitting in about 4th place, I think, from last time we had a look at the settings for the women. So she's, you know, reasonably comfortable there in 4th place at the moment. Something just over 6-7 minutes back from our lead rider in Julia Molo. So that's Julia Molo leading the race. And this comes back out now to our
Marta Legownik in
third
third
place.
place, that's right. So Marta Legownik from Poland, riding well, first time over this distance, so actually playing a really smart race. She doesn't want to do anything too crazy. As I said, she doesn't have any experience on anything longer than middle distance racing, so I think she's playing it really, really smart, and I know if she was able to go home with a podium, she'd be over the moon.
Charlene Clavel from France has been around about that just over 4-minute mark the entire way through.
Starting to push out to around that 4:20 mark. So, as I said, not losing a lot of time, just a few seconds every time we go over a timing mat. It's just a couple of seconds further out, but still looking very, very comfortable on the bike. She's a brilliant bike rider. She has incredible bike handling skills.
You look at the splits, and again, 1 and 2 have hardly moved. Everyone else keeps dropping back.
Dropping back, yes.
Marta
indeed.
Legownik now out at over 10:17. Kate Gillespie-Jones at 12. Ayueda at 15 and Emily Donker at 17. The front two have barely changed for the entire 114 Ks of this bike ride.
But look at how quick this transition is because she already had her socks on. Beautiful transition.
Gets the timing chip sorted.
Make sure she's nice and comfortable. She's got time to do this now. Oh, that's interesting. So taking the timing chip off, she can put it in a pocket. That's right. Doesn't want it run her ankle.
So out onto the run course, the first time we get to really see the running style of Julia Molo from France, who is leading our elite female event for them. 3 hours and 40 minutes almost out on course today.
And Charlene Clavel will be great to get that split. We'll have it up on screen soon. But that Charlene Clavel not choosing to put socks on in transition in T1 and having to put them on now, so her transition will be a little bit longer than her fellow countrywoman, but still a nice clean transition, everything in the box, and out she goes now, and we will wait to see what that split is.
And here is our second place female athlete, Charlene Clavel. Can she do enough to catch her countrywoman? I think it's going to be pretty tough from here. Julia Molo has just finished her first lap on the run leg.
Oh, we've still got, the women have still got a good amount of real estate left to run.
18 Ks.
18 kilometres. So much can happen in 18 kilometres, and you can see as Julie slows down, that's really smart racing, slows down as she goes through the aid station just to make sure that she gets enough hydration in. Marta Legownik, she really is running very, very well. She's a great runner, very accomplished runner. Again, has never run this distance, so has never done anything longer than a middle distance race, but so far looking very, very good.
And countrywoman Charlene Clavel is now at the point where she is about to take the lead. I don't know that Amolo will come back from it.
No, absolutely not. I think once Charlene makes that pass, we will not see her going anywhere except for forward. Julie will slow down slightly to make sure that she gets the hydration in that she needs.
Clavel right on her tail now, both taking the hydration. And here we
go.
Clavel will go round. We have a new race leader for the first time.
Oh, I love this, you know.
Oh,
this is why I love this sport so much. The camaraderie between these women. You see it with the men. You see it with the elite women. So much respect for each other. Respect to her fellow countrywomen for leading this race, as you said, for 4 hours, 50 minutes.
And Julie says, well, I'm just going to stick in behind you.
I might just try and say, well, she's got nothing to lose.
Absolutely
Mitzi,
nothing
she's got nothing to lose. Let's just try.
5 minutes back to Marta in third place. So can I stick with her? Can I just stay with her and just play a little bit of my own mind games right now? Charlene Clavel has closed down an extraordinary gap. Countrywoman Julia Molo has led for almost the entire race to be run down, and right now the girls closing in on the final stages. You wouldn't have written off, but we thought Amolo was just travelling so well. But once we started to see her start to falter a little bit on the run leg, and the strength that Clavel had all the way back to the end of the bike, where she really was starting to motor. Wasn't eating into it, but you could see the determination had really kicked in.
Looking at her watch, she knows that she will know she's running a very, very solid pace. There is Julie right now.
Yeah, she's pretty broken, isn't she?
So still ticking it over, but obviously at a much different pace to what we're seeing on screen here with Charlene.
Julia Molo has just gone through that checkpoint. 3:48 behind now.
Can she hold on? 3 kilometres left for the French woman that led all day long until she was overtaken by this woman on screen right now.
And there's Marta, who is yet to get to the back of the mangrove, so it will be a job too far out of reach for Marta Legownik from Poland. But again, as we said before, an outstanding day at the office today.
It's funny how your mind just switches over and it's all of a sudden you are fighting, and now it's like, the relief.
What a celebration. We have a new world champion, long-distance triathlon, Charlene Clavel, representing France. A stellar day on the streets of Townsviille.
Look how happy she is. Celebrations beginning. She knows that she's had an incredible race here today. Celebrate you should, Marta. You deserve it. Fabulous place for Poland as well.
What a sensational result. And there is your gold and silver medalist embracing at the finish line. Julie Amolo from France will get third position. Finally, her day is done. And under 6 hours. Still a fantastic effort out there today. Well done, Julia Molo.
All of these times are so incredibly fast. So it's a fast course, that fast times. And these women were just superb today. Top 5, Charlene Clavel from France taking home that top spot. Marta Legownik with that brilliant run of hers from Poland in second. Julie Amolo from France in third. Ayueda from Japan in fourth. And great to see 5th place, Kate Gillespie-Jones, coming home in 5th, only having turned pro about a year and a half ago.
Spectacular, isn't it?
Brilliant race from Kate.
I'm very happy and it's amazing for me. I want to win today for my team. I have the best support and it's important for me to win today. I'm very, very happy and very, very tired. I have difficulty in swim, thundering swim. I'm strong in bike, and when I run, I want to go in front of, and I give the best, and I'm happy to that.
It was a tough race for me. It was a first long distance for me today. So I am so excited that I am second on the World Championship in Townsviille. I am so exhausted. I have never run 30 kilometers, so my legs are a bit hit. The swimming was I was a second from the swimming. It was I think 3 minutes gap before first. After first, sorry. And then on the bike, I tried to pushing hard, but the French girls are so strong. So I try to keep pushing and have at the same gap still. And on the run, I try to have the same pace every kilometers. And the most important thing in the long distance is to have on the last 10 kilometers the same pace. So I was, I think, more or less the same pace, so it was second place, and I'm so exciting.
I'm pretty happy with this race. I tried my best, and I think I raced like the way I love to race. I mean, being in the front the maximum since the swim. Try to hold the lead during the bike and the maximum during the run, but today it was only to the half of the run, so a little bit disappointed, but very happy to come back home with a medal. I really like this bike course, more technical and with a lot of turns and turnaround on the bike. We don't see this very often on long distance races, and before being specialized on long distance, I was a short distance athlete, so it's remembering me the previous races I did before, but only 20 kilometers before, and today 120, but the same type of course. I really enjoyed this run course also because we had the flat part on the run and different to come back along the sea. It was very nice.
Representing France, Charlene Clavel.
The champagne has been sprayed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. My name is Glenn Minturn, proudly a Townsvillian. Thank you, world, for being a part of it. We look forward to you joining us in Pontevedra in Spain in 2025. From Townsville, Australia, goodbye, everybody. See you next time.
See you, everyone.